way! Get out of my way! Can't you see he's going to kick my butt?
Pay me what you owe me, you damn fat greedy bitch!
If you're afraid of tax evasion, learn from this great sailor. I'm going to give your mom a ride, bastard. Mr. Krabs has been committing fraud for more than 20 years, and the worst part is that he's been enslaving Bob Esponja and Calamargo. Did you know he pays them 5 cents a day? Let's see how much Mr. Krabs owes in taxes and to his workers.
Apparently Dad Death's commanded my story. The order is going to be a mess.
And why don't we start with the terrible pay at the Krusty Krab? Because if you thought that working at the Krusty Krab was going to make you a millionaire, you're completely far from reality. In the episode SpongeBob, You're Fired, it's revealed to us that a day of work at the Krusty Krab is paid at 5 cents.
I've realized I can save 5 cents by cutting your salary.
5 cents? Are you telling me that if you work at the Krusty Krab, you only make $1.20 a month? $14.40 a year? And it's not just a simple 8-hour workday, oh is it? There are days when they even work 14 hours, which means they only earn 1/4 cent per hour. And if you don't understand how much 1/4 cent per hour is, it's like earning 1 Mexican peso a day. But this isn't possible, right? If not, then how can Squidward and SpongeBob live a normal life if they only earn 5 cents a day? Are you telling me that even Patrick Star has more money than them without doing anything? Well, this would make some sense with the theory that Patrick is a billionaire or that his family is very rich. But anyway, you get the point, right? Well, the reason for his miserable salary has 2 explanations. The first one we see in the episode Squidward on Strike. In this episode, Squidward gets fed up with Mr. Krabs' stinginess and decides to go on strike. Because Mr. Krabs just wanted to charge them even for breathing. Just look at this nonsense.
Are you making me pay for standing at the cash register? What does this mean? Have you gone crazy, huh?
Since they didn't agree, he fires them. So Squidward convinces SpongeBob to start a strike and make Mr. Krabs pay them a good salary. But everything gets out of control when SpongeBob, in his desperation to get his job back, ends up dismantling the entire Krusty Krab so that Mr. Krabs has no choice but to hire them again. Only now they'll have to work to pay for all the damage to the Krusty Krab for the rest of their lives. So most likely, little by little, SpongeBob and Squidward paid off the damages to the Krusty Krab. But most likely here is that Mr. Krabs took advantage and overcharged them, possibly $50,000. Come on guys, haven't you noticed that the Krusty Krab is a dump? It's built inside a crab trap, made entirely of wood and secondhand stuff. Knowing Mr. Krabs, he probably opened the Krusty Krab with just $50. This list explains it all. So my logic here is that possibly with every payment he made to his workers, he deducted a certain amount from their salary to cover his debt. Which means that here Mr. Krabs owes his workers those $50,000 that he took from them by being opportunistic. And the second answer for why their salary is so miserable, it's just that those 5 cents a day are only SpongeBob's salary. SpongeBob literally doesn't care about money. He's completely happy just working at the Krusty Krab. Just remember the time when he found a $500 bill and threw it away like it was nothing. There's no way Squidward was going to let Mr. Krabs pay him 5 cents a day. Squidward stands up for his rights, which is why he went on strike. How much should SpongeBob and Squidward actually earn? If we assume Bikini Bottom is near Bikini Atoll, which is an island in Hawaii, Hawaii's minimum wage is $14 per hour. This would make a lot more sense and would give SpongeBob and Squidward a quote-unquote decent life. Until you realize all the scams and frauds that Mr. Krabs has pulled on his workers? First scam. Mr. Krabs tends to take away his employees' salaries simply because he's in a bad mood or just because he feels like it. Like in that episode where the crazy crab canceled an entire month's pay for them just because he was in a bad mood. So here, Mr. Krabs owes each of his employees $3,360. And if you thought having a month's salary canceled is horrible, wait until you hear about the next big scam. It turns out that to work inside the Krusty Krab, you have to pay this stingy crab around $100 an hour. And we know this because in the episode Pink Loser, SpongeBob tells Patrick that when he started working at the Krusty Krab, he had to pay Mr. Krabs $100.
You only pay him $50 an hour. When I started, I had to pay Mr. Krabs $100 an hour.
So when Mr. Krabs hired Patrick, the poor pink star had to pay him $50 per hour he worked. And assuming Patrick worked one day with 10 hours, he ended up paying this crab $500. Just take note. And it wasn't just this scam, because besides stealing his $500 from Patrick, the crab would also have to pay him his $140 minimum wage for his work. Is this only with Patrick? If we also take SpongeBob into account, he had to pay $100 per hour for 3 months. And also, digging deeper, I found the schedule of the Krusty Krab where we can see that SpongeBob works approximately 86 hours a week. And if we do the math, SpongeBob ended up paying the crab $103,200. But besides this blatant theft, the crab would still have to pay him his salary, which would be another $29,848. So, in just this short period of 3 months, the scoundrel, Mr. Krabs, ended up stealing $133,048 from SpongeBob. But come on, Mr. Krabs is the king of scams, and shamelessly stealing isn't the only thing he likes to do. Apparently, he also really enjoys tricking his employees with fake bills. Who knows how long he was giving SpongeBob fake money to cover his salary. And the worst part is that Mr. Krabs has no shame and even asks SpongeBob to cover his daughter's expenses. Pearl.
Buy yourself something nice.
Hey, this isn't money.
Isn't it even better?
Don Cangrejo pays me with this.
Assuming he only gave fake money. On this occasion, Cangrejo would have to pay SpongeBob his $140 for his work that day. Of course, plus what he bought for Perlita. Trust me, every scam by this greedy Cangrejo gets worse. And I guess we all remember the Graveyard Shift episode. This episode clearly shows us that Cangrejo is willing to exploit and enslave his employees just to get a few extra dollars. He's so miserable that he actually goes to rest himself. To recap, in this episode, Bob Esponja and Calamardo worked a 24-hour shift to satisfy Don Cangrejo's whim. Honestly, I don't think Don Tacaño was generous enough to give them a raise, at least not to Bob Esponja. For this abuse, Cangrejo should have paid Bob Esponja and Calamardo $336 for their 24-hour shift. We can be sure he didn't do it. The next scam is the biggest labor exploitation ever seen in the marine world. In the episode Out of Fear of a Krabby Patty, that's when we realize that the crab has no limits. He doesn't care about his employees' health. This crab pushed Squidward and SpongeBob to their limits. He kept them working non-stop and without sleep for 43 days straight. He didn't stop even when he saw that SpongeBob was going crazy. Because of this great exploitation, Mr. Krabs had to pay SpongeBob and Squidward around $14,448 each, not including what he had to pay SpongeBob for the psychological harm he caused. But that's hardly the only time Mr. Krabs has been miserable, and he's not only that way with his employees. Let's just remember that time when he didn't want to waste an old Krabby Patty, and to prove it was still good, he took a bite out of it, and he almost kicked the bucket. But without a doubt, the biggest crime that Krabs has committed is against poor SpongeBob. Even though he's a great cook and such an efficient worker, he doesn't even earn a quarter of what his real salary should be. We know that SpongeBob has worked with Mr. Krabs since 1999, so doing the math, he's been working at the Krusty Krab for about 26 years. In all this time, SpongeBob should have made a great fortune, so let's see how much money Krabs has stolen from SpongeBob. Let's use $14 per hour as the base pay he should be getting. Doing this calculation per week, SpongeBob should be earning $840, which would leave him with $3,360 per month. So for his 26 years working at the Krusty Krab, SpongeBob should have received $1,048,320. Not counting all the thousands of extra hours that Krabs forced them to work. But with Mr. Krabs' miserable salary, SpongeBob, probably with his 5 cents a day, ended up earning $374.4 during these 26 years of his slavery. So Mr. Krabs owes his employees a $1,265,076, which he obviously will never pay, and that's why he'll keep having millions of dollars. Do you all know anything else Mr. Krabs owes? We'll read your comments.